Hershey Park Chaperone info. Everything you need to know for our 2022 trip. Before May 27th, please sign the Chaperone Responsibilities paperwork and give it to your student's instructor. This paperwork will be provided to you. You will need to sign in with the lobby guard in the main office. If you would like to do this before you show up on Friday morning, you may come in at any time during school hours. When you arrive on Friday, please arrive no later than 5:30 a.m. We sincerely apologize for how early this is. Report to the music room for the ensemble you are chaperoning. You will receive attendance sheets, a phone number list, and a bus assignment. Take a moment to introduce yourself to your group members. Ask all students who have brought a cell phone for their numbers. If you are willing, please consider giving all your group members your cell phone number. Assist students in remembering all of their materials as we load buses. Once on the bus, please make sure that every time students board or depart the bus, to take attendance on the provided sheet. Once attendance is taken, give the all clear to the HCPSS employee in charge of your bus. Those employees for this trip will be Mr. Ray, Ms. Retterer, Mr. Corbett, and Mr. Howes. Be sure all students remain seated and facing front for the entire bus ride. At no point while the bus is in motion should any student be standing. For safety and comfort reasons, please assist in keeping the noise volume to minimum. There should be no shouting or singing while on the bus. Any students using a device for music or media while on the bus must be using earbuds or headphones. In the case of an emergency, seek the assistance of the HCPSS employee and a bus driver on your bus. At the performance venues, all ensembles will need to unpack in the parking lots of their respective performance venues. Instrument cases will be left on the buses. Please assist with lining the students up and keeping them quiet while waiting to warm up and perform. If there is time, we will listen to another group perform before we perform ourselves. Please assist in keeping students quiet in the auditorium. After our performance, we will pack up and reload the buses. Please help students do this quickly and neatly. Keep an eye out for any forgotten LEMS items. Any students who need to use restrooms at the performance venue must be accompanied. In the park, chaperones will be given tickets to park entry. Any adult who drove separately to the park will need to purchase their own ticket for entry. All group members must stay with their chaperone and group at all times. If a member of your group goes missing, contact your music teacher immediately. Students who stray from their groups will not be allowed to continue to enjoy the park. Any inappropriate behavior in the park will be dealt with by a music teacher. Please contact one of us if you are having trouble with a student. All students must convene at the entrance to the Hershey Park Arena at 5 o'clock p.m. Please do not be late. The entrance from inside the park is right next to Chick-fil-A. The award ceremony begins at 5:30 p.m. Assist with student behavior during the ceremony. Students should do their best to represent the school well at this time and should be good sports throughout the ceremony. After the ceremony, all LEMS students and chaperones will exit the arena and go directly to the buses. Once we have reached the buses, take attendance and give the all clear to your HCPSS employee. Head home at 6:15 p.m. Arrive back at LEMS at approximately 8:15 p.m. In addition to the duties outlined in the previous slides, all parent chaperones are required to review the following information on child abuse and neglect training. You will need to fill out a certificate saying you have reviewed this information in order to chaperone. Maryland State Law and HCPSS Policy 1030 requires employee or service providers of the Howard County Public School Systems to report any suspicion of child abuse or neglect to Howard County Department of Social Services, provides immunity from civil liability or criminal penalty for a report made in good faith. Failure to report may result in suspension or termination of services. Also require service providers, volunteers to make a report if there is a reason to believe that abuse or neglect has possibly occurred. Reports should be made without attempts to do any further investigation. If needed, service providers and volunteers may consult with the school's child abuse liaison. Liaisons cannot make the report to Department of Social Services on your behalf, however. The role of the child abuse liaison coordinates support for students suspected of being abused or neglected, acts as resource for information relating to child abuse and neglect reporting procedures, and assists with completion of child abuse reporting forms as needed. In order to report, you must make an oral report immediately to the Department of Social Services. Follow up with written report within 48 hours. Tell administrator and child abuse liaison that a report was filed. Do not place a copy of report in student educational records. The Service Provider's Code of Ethics. Confidentiality. Any information you have access to in the school or classroom is confidential. As a service provider or volunteer, you are required to protect the confidentiality of all student information that you see or hear while volunteering. Children must be 8 years old to be left attended for short periods of time. When an adult is not present, a child must be 13 years old to be in charge of siblings or other children. More information about Howard County Public School System Board of Education Policy 1030 Child Abuse and Neglect may be found on our website, www.hcpss.org. Thank you for watching this presentation. Now please use the link sent to you by your child's music teacher in order to acknowledge your receipt of this information.